You I don't recognize. If you come to see Master Fear, he's preoccupied. Indefinitely. Oh. Oh. Of course, Danilo told you about that. Did she mention it's suicide? I'm sure she didn't. I don't doubt Master Fear will be fine passing through the rift, but anyone else? I'm not staking my life on it. No, I told Master Fear I wouldn't go. He just walked away. I think he fired me? I'm just glad he didn't ask my sister. If you have your heart set on an untimely death, Master Fear's still intent on going. I don't think Master Fear really means to end my service to him. Surely he's just preoccupied. The Telvanni were expanding the workshop into the caverns beyond this chamber, where the rift came into being. It seemed a trick of the light at first, like a carnival mirror. Then it began to tear, wider and wider until things spilled out. There were creatures, familiar beasts, but they weren't simple flesh any longer. They were fashioned, joined with machines. Beautiful and terrible at the same time. I don't know if they live, but they hunger. Wait, are you saying you don't know who Devaith Fear is? Yes. He's the most famed and respected mage in Vardenfell, maybe the world. There isn't a subject of magic he can't discuss in totality. I really hope he'll forgive me for abandoning his expedition. Trying to make myself useful by tallying casualties and damages for Master Fear. I know he's unhappy that I won't accompany him into the rift, but maybe this will help make up for it.
Oh, those things in the cave. They were like nothing I've ever seen. I've studied dwarven specimens from the Alakir Desert, Orsinium, all over. Never anything like those long-necked things.
My brother and I were studying the dwarven relics found throughout the cave, and then... we never should have wandered away from the rest of the Shapers. Excuse me, I can't talk about this right now.
What happened was terrible, but our work must continue. What happened?
The wounded have all been stabilized, but we lost so many. I'm afraid that the talent of tower shaping will be set back generations by their loss.
Come to consult the great Devaith Fear. I'm afraid I'm rather preoccupied at the moment.
What a discovery! Those animunculi were resonating in a stable anharmonic oscillation. It's unprecedented, and it just fell in our laps. What rare fortune. By the three, progress always comes at a cost. Telvanni understand that. They'd tell you they'd be honored to be associated with such a breakthrough if they could.
This one has wares that those ones will not miss.
Did you hear that Tharek tried to open a portal to Oblivion? The Telvanni decided to honor me with membership in their great house. This tower was their idea of a gift. Their choice of location was portentous, let's say. For them, my own auspices are far brighter. I'm a traveler. At my doorstep, a new path. The natural conclusion should be obvious. I intend to explore beyond the rift that has emerged in my basement, or rather the caverns beyond. However, none of this lot are willing or able to join me. Upsets in planar demarcation are remarkably complex. Study must be free from distraction, an impossibility while constructs continuously spill from the rift. We must find their source and shut it down. Clear a path through the meddlesome machines in the cavern beyond this antechamber. I will join you at the rift once I've completed my usual transliminal preparations. Some are Dwameri, tinkered with in ways beyond even my experience. Intriguing, but not nearly so interesting as the Fabricants. Their marriage of the organic and inorganic defies all contemporary wisdom. But are they as they seem? What, indeed? I'd only heard descriptions of the creatures in my talks with Barrelzar, Sotha Seal's former apprentice. Even he doesn't seem to have a full grasp of their design. They are life driven by clockwork, if all is to be believed. I'd assumed you knew whose home it was you were standing in. Devaith Fear. Does that name's significance escape you as well? Ah, a woman of taste. I would offer you a private reading, but as you can see, my new home is not fit for company. Perhaps after we've finished our sojourn in Clockwork City. Given the eruption of Fabricants into the caverns, my theory is it somehow intersects with Clockwork City. Anything beyond that is pure speculation. The domain of Sotha Seal, a world of his own design. Privilege of being a god. Whether it exists in Nirn is the subject of much conjecture. Perhaps we'll finally lay that debate to rest. wounded.
Oh, Walker. Makum did not expect this. This is no simple sickness. It's the work of Dromathra. You must go. This one can hear Lorcarge's song already. Can you hear it? The tapping. This one is sorry for bringing you here. Flee while you can. Taka? Makum thinks not. He does not thrash and snarl like the others, but his eyes seem lost at sea, yes? This one will return him to his family. With time and good food. Who can say, eh? Take this, friend, and may Bandar dust your tracks.
Azura, help me. Raham, Besija, Halava. Oh, I am sorry. Adarahai thought you were someone else. You have caught us at a delicate time. Forgive me. There is a sickness here. Namira's dark litter, the Dromathra, have taken the temple. These are the only survivors. Most are half mad. It's the Zaja Lurkaj, the bent dance. The rhythm beats the mind like a kettle drum. Difficult to watch, yes? You will lend a claw? Moons bless you, Walker. The only way to drive out the Dromathra is to sanctify the seals scattered throughout the temple. It is a long walk, full of bent cats. But if you clear the way, I can sing the beasts back to Lorkaj. We must move quickly, yes? The Dromathra have a powerful ally in the temple's abbot, Kulandro. He is bent past breaking, but he knows this place better than any cat alive. There will be no stopping him if we do not act soon. Adarahai of the Twilight Cantors. And you? Ah, yes. Adarahai has heard of you. My sister sang you an aria when news of Molag Bal's failure came to our temple. It was a cool Palmer night. Perfect weather for a hero's song. This one would hum you a few bars, but it's still too dangerous. It seems silly, yes? We have to be very careful when Dromathra are near. Namira's eyes are fixed on us. She is looking for unlocked doors to our hearts, rattling the hinges, you see? Hold an honest note for too long, and she'll snatch you up. Professional? No, my heart, it is nothing so cold. This is a vocation. To be a cantor is to live a life of wine and prayer, full of dozing and bathing and joyful music. Beauty is too great a thing to be caged by profession, no? Duty brought Adarahai here. When Dromathra pounce, we cantors are called to sing them back to the void. The price of beauty is horror, you see? Var, var, var. He was a Lesser Moon bishop. A sour cat with a heart made of flint and lemon peel. This one is not surprised that he heard Namira's music. Cats like that are perfect prey for the Dromathra. Bent spirits. Moon haters. The children of the Daedric Shadow Lady Namira that dance in the dark behind the world. We rarely speak of them. Raises the hackles, you know? They are our dark reflection. Seductive, powerful, and very, very dangerous. It is called the Temple of Seven Riddles, home to the doubting monks. Or at least it was. It is a holy place, but not a good place. The clan mothers say they built the temple too tall. Khajiit aren't meant to stand so close to the Jakajé before the dead climb. Pilgrims who come here can see the bright moons, yes, but some can see the ghost moon too. Lorkaj. It could be. The Dromathra have emerged here before. Something about this place draws them out. If not Lorkaj, then petty greed. Or lust. Who can say? The seals were supposed to keep them at bay, but it seems that Kulandro dunged them up. This one sealed the door as soon as she arrived, but it will not hold forever. The Dromathra are pouring through the breach. I know some by name and some by reputation. Some Adarahai even called friends. Var, var, var. Be cautious and keep watch for this abbot, Kulandro. If he dances the bent dance, he will likely try to deceive us. Namira's most dangerous servants are all honey and lies. Don't trust him. Is this Raham? This one feels Namira's eyes on us already. The lost cats are nearby. Be wary.
Can Taifi help you find anything? This one is anxious to keep busy.
It's a good thing I arrived when I did. These monks are in very poor shape. You look a bit bedraggled as well. Can I help you find anything?
Sell to the nobility.
believe she just threw... Please? I have no one else I can turn to. I need help. I worked as a servant in the towers of Tel Drelloth. Nathan, the son of Mistress Drelloth, is being kept prisoner there. At least, I think he must be. Nathan and I had plans to leave Tel Drelloth together. Someone must have found out, because the day we planned to leave, I was dismissed from my position. Mistress Drelloth, or Sathiel, I suppose, pushed me out without a chance to see Nathan. If she's holding him against his will, he'll be in the isolation tower. The only access is through the lab in the caverns that run underneath. There's a key in the top floor of the main tower. Please, can you help me? I'll pay for your assistance. Thank the eight you came along. I had no idea how I would do this on my own. I know Sathiel would just throw me out again, but Nathan is my whole world. I can't possibly leave Tel Drelloth without him. The first step is finding that key. Certainly. You know, it's been so long since I spoke to another outsider. I didn't think I'd miss it so much. I say this with love, but Nathan's not a fighter. He's lived a sheltered life, and Sathiel is a very skilled mage. But he wouldn't fight his mother anyway. Until he met me, he seemed content with heeding Sathiel's every word. I wish I knew. If she were any other Telvanni master, I guess she didn't want her son settling for some lowborn servant girl. But nothing like that ever seemed to matter to Sathiel. She was far more focused on her research than her rank anyway. From what I understand, she's trying to cure the Nahatan flu. It took the life of her husband many years ago, when Nathan was just a baby. I'm sure that's why she's so protective of her son, but it's no way to let him live. I heard Sathiel used to keep test subjects in the isolation tower. If she's keeping him anywhere, I imagine it has to be there. He spends most of his time on the balcony of the main tower, but he hasn't been out there at all since I left. Would it matter? Nathan deserves to make his own choices, regardless of his mother's wishes. And if she really felt that way, why wouldn't she just make her feelings known instead of throwing me out? I wasn't trying to steal him from her. I used to ask myself that question every day. It all happened so fast. I had a big family in Cropsford. We fled east from Cyrodiil when the Three Banners War began. By the time I made it here, I'd lost everyone. I was on my own. She gave me lodging and fair wages, too. She was kind to me, in her way. I used to think it was out of some goodness of her heart that she took me in. After she dismissed me, I was left wondering if she even has a heart. Very little, actually. It's not what she said, rather... While packing, I found a note in my belongings, signed by Nathan, full of hurtful things. Things I know he would never say to me. I'm certain of it. I know Nathan's handwriting, and more than that, I know his heart. He'd never say such cruel things to me. And the fact that Sathiel made up those lies hurts me even more. As in how we met? It's a bit of a silly story. I have a habit of whistling while I work. Songs from back home to keep my mind busy. One day, when I was working in the garden, I heard it. Chords of Chim El Adabal, coming from the balcony above me. He'd never even heard it before. He learned it on the lute just from listening to me. He would play, and I began to sing again. It was like Nathan gave me my voice back. And I could think of home again in a way that felt like healing. Nathan started dropping notes for me in the garden. He folded them so beautifully to look like flowers. He'd make up excuses to send for me. We'd stay up all night talking or reading. It took a long time for either of us to admit our feelings. I did. I'd suggested that Sathiel was being a little overprotective of him. We were almost arguing about it when I just admitted that I'd fallen in love with him. But I didn't know if I wanted to stay at Tel Drelloth forever like Sathiel. Only recently. That was Nathan's idea. After losing my family, I sought safety and found it in Tel Drelloth. But over time, we both realized life is too short. too precious to spend it stuck in just one place. We decided we wanted to see the world. There's the main tower. And you can see the isolation tower to the north there. They're not like the towers back home. But they're beautiful in their own way. Good. Nobody's noticed us so far. Right. Walk with purpose, don't make eye contact, and no one should pay us mind. Mistress Dreloth's chambers are at the top of this tower. The key is there. The key is in that chest. It's a spare for when the researchers misplace theirs. Got it? Let's speak for a moment. All right, we have the key. This is going better than I thought it would. And it's strange. Everything looks so different in here without the wards. It all feels so empty. Nathan's protective wards. You know, Sothiel's magic barriers that kept Nathan's half of the tower in isolation. I couldn't cross them at all. They certainly made tidying up a bit of a trial. I mentioned the wards before, didn't I? Sorry. I guess I've been here so long it's become normal to me. Sathiel said the outside world would kill Nathan, and she was working on a cure. But as far as I know, she and her husband were trying to cure the Nahatan flu. He died years ago, when Nathan was just a baby, from the disease they were trying to cure. Sathiel must be sheltering Nathan for fear of losing him, too. She's doing it out of love. That I can understand. But that doesn't make it right. We'll take the portal pad to the cellar. Then the key will get us into the labs. From there, it's just making our way through the caverns to the isolation tower. As long as we don't cross Sathiel, the others will be too busy to stop us. Good question. I've never known her to be particularly combative, but if Nathan's wards were any indication, she does wield very powerful magic. Which she may use to escort us out. Nathan's well-being is a family affair, and the researchers are far more focused on their work. They're tasked with observing their subjects for the slightest changes, so they won't keep their eyes on us for long, anyway. Test subjects for her experiments. Animals, as far as I know. Some of the experiments are rather grisly. I kept away from the lab for that exact reason. I've heard some of these Telvanni use slaves for such things, but Sathiel's not like that. No, and that's exactly what worries me. She's tested no cures on him because there's nothing to cure. He's not sick. She just wants control. Poor Nathan. His mother loves him, but it's almost like she's the one with the sickness. I don't think I've ever seen it this empty down here. Where is everyone? Wait, what are these subjects doing out of containment? Why are they like this? What has Sathiel done to them?